Are you doing absolutely everything right? You're eating clean, you're exercising, but that stubborn fat around your middle just will not budge. It's got to be one of the most frustrating feelings in the world. What if I told you the problem isn't your diet, it's not your workout, but it's actually a hidden hormonal loop that's keeping you completely stuck? Let's dive in and really expose what's going on. Now, this one sentence, it changes everything. It means that your belly fat isn't just some passive blob of energy you're storing. No, it's an active, influential organ. It's literally a factory, and it's working against your goals. Understanding what it's trying to do is the absolute key to finally getting results.
Okay, so let's pull back the curtain on what's really happening inside your midsection. And it all starts with understanding a very specific type of fat. We're not talking about the fat you can pinch under your skin. We're talking about something called visceral fat. This is the really dangerous stuff that wraps around your precious internal organs, creating a ton of pressure and inflammation. But what makes this fat so stubborn isn't just where it is. It's its unique and, frankly, dangerous relationship with stress. It's like a sponge for it.
And here is exactly why it's a stress sponge. Visceral fat has 2 to 3 times more cortisol receptor sites than any other fat in your entire body. Now, what does that mean? It means when you're stressed out, your belly fat is uniquely built to soak up all that cortisol, which makes it grow and become even more sensitive to any stress you experience in the future.
So this unique sensitivity to cortisol traps you in what is basically a vicious cycle. The source material has a great name for it, the cortisol-insulin death spiral. And this is the core mechanism that keeps that belly fat locked firmly in place. Okay, so check out this cascade of events. It all starts with any kind of stress, right? And that spikes your cortisol. Your liver senses this as a fight or flight moment and dumps sugar, glucose, into your blood for quick energy. Then your pancreas releases insulin to deal with all that sugar. Now here's the crucial point, right here at step 4. Insulin's main job is to store energy, so it immediately slams the brakes on all fat burning. And where does that energy go? You guessed it, straight to the visceral fat, which then gets bigger and even better at trapping cortisol, and the whole cycle starts over again.
And this is the part that drives everyone nuts. This entire hormonal process can happen completely separate from what you eat. You could be in a calorie deficit. You could be doing keto. You could be in the middle of a 24-hour fast. If your cortisol spikes, your liver dumps glucose and insulin will follow, stopping fat loss dead in its tracks.
So if this is the real root cause, why on earth isn't this common knowledge? Well, the source offers a pretty blunt and cynical answer. There's a whole industry out there that profits from quick fixes, from diet foods, from medications that just treat the symptoms without ever addressing this underlying hormonal problem.
So now that we understand the mechanism, let's look at some of the common everyday triggers. These are the hidden traps that are unknowingly keeping your cortisol high and just fueling that death spiral. Let me ask you this. If you just answered yes, you are experiencing the first and probably the most common cortisol trap. It is a classic sign that your hormones are working against you while you're supposed to be sleeping.
So here's exactly what's going on. As you sleep, your blood sugar can start to drop. If it drops too low, your brain basically panics and unleashes this huge surge of cortisol to force your liver to release sugar. And that cortisol surge is what jolts you awake, heart racing, and at the same time it flips you out of fat burning mode and straight into fat storage mode for the rest of the night.
Now, trap number 2 might actually surprise you. Chronic cardio. This shows us the difference between stress that helps you and stress that hurts you. You see, long-duration stuff like jogging actually keeps your cortisol levels elevated, which can break down muscle and encourage visceral fat storage. But on the flip side, beneficial movements like a simple walk or a few short sprints actually help regulate your cortisol and boost your fat-burning hormones. It's a total game changer.
The third trap is this paradox of doing too much of a good thing. Pushing your fast too long or training way too hard without enough recovery, your body sees that as a major stressor. And how does it respond? Well, you guessed it, by jacking up cortisol. And that raises your insulin and throws you right back into that death spiral, shutting down fat burning entirely.
Okay, enough about the problem. The good news, the great news is that you can absolutely break this cycle. So let's shift gears and walk through a really clear, actionable plan to get your hormones working for you again instead of against you. So here it is, the 6-part hormonal reset plan from the source material. Think of each one of these as a simple lever that you can pull to finally break that cortisol-insulin loop. So let's walk through them one by one. First things first, we've got to fix your nights.
Stopping eating 3 hours before bed is huge because it allows your insulin levels to be nice and low when you go to sleep, which maximizes your fat burning. And for that 3 a.m. wake-up call, this honey and salt trick is genius. That little bit of glucose and fructose feeds your liver just enough to keep it from panicking, and that prevents the massive cortisol spike without wrecking your progress.
Next up, walk after your meals. It's so simple, but so powerful. Just a 10 to 20-minute walk helps your muscles soak up blood sugar directly without needing a big insulin spike from your pancreas. And what does less insulin mean? It means less cortisol and less fat storage. We're talking about a potential 30% drop in glucose and insulin. It is one of the easiest and most effective hacks you can possibly do.
For fix number 4, we need to make sure that fasting is a healthy stress, not a harmful one. And the key to that is hitting your protein target during your eating window. This gives your body all the building blocks it needs for repair and muscle, which basically signals that it's safe to burn fat for fuel instead of panicking and storing it. The target to shoot for is 1 gram of protein per pound of your ideal body weight.
All right, fix number 5 is all about exercising smarter, not longer. And just get a load of this number. A single, all-out, 20-second sprint can boost your human growth hormone, which is cortisol's natural antidote, by a staggering 450%. This hormone is absolutely crucial for burning fat and building muscle. You get so much more hormonal benefit from just a few short sprints a week than from hours and hours of jogging.
And the final fix, it's probably the most unexpected one. It's called vitamin G for gratitude. Yep, that's right. When you genuinely feel gratitude, your body produces oxytocin, which you might know as the love hormone. And oxytocin has a direct biochemical effect. It actively lowers your cortisol levels.
Now, before you dismiss this as being a little woo-woo, the source makes a really crucial point. This is not just some mindset trick, this is mitochondrial biochemistry. Your thoughts and your feelings create real, measurable hormonal changes in your body. So managing your psychological stress is a direct, scientific way to manage your physical stress.
So the big takeaway from all of this is pretty simple. Stop fighting your body. The struggle isn't about willpower. It isn't about eating less. It's about fixing the underlying hormonal signals. When you finally address the root causes of high cortisol and high insulin, your body naturally, almost effortlessly, shifts back into fat-burning mode. Ultimately, this reframes the entire struggle, doesn't it? It's not that your body is failing you or that it's broken. It's that it has been hijacked by a modern lifestyle that is constantly triggering a stress response. So the real question is, now that you know the mechanism, are you ready to take back the controls?